then we'll let you know when we're good to go. Hopefully that'll be second.
Thanks,
We're
Gary.
now live, Martin. We're now live, Martin.
Thanks, Gary. If I may, I'll just open the meeting of this General Purposes Committee. My name's Martin Tugwell. I'm the Chief Executive. As this is, as the previous chair is not with us on the committee any longer, I think the first matter of the day is actually to appoint a chair for the meeting and for the committee. And so I think, Julie, at this point, we just ask for nominations or expressions of interest to chair the meeting.
Yes, please.
So, colleagues, is there a person who would like to not put themselves forward for chairing the meeting?
Martin, can I say, if there's nobody else, I'm very happy to put my name forward.
Thank you, Councillor Les. Anybody else? I'm seeing a thumbs up from Councillor Hinchcliffe and from Councillor Gannon. I'm assuming it looks like, Councillor Les, that you're the chair for today. So, if I may, I will hand over to you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Martin, and welcome, colleagues, and thank you for putting me into this position. Can we move on straight with the agenda then, please? Declarations of interest, does anybody have any? I can't see any hands going up. In that case, perhaps there aren't any, so we'll move on to minutes of the previous meeting. People happy that they're a true record of the meeting? Sadly, I wasn't at it, so I can't comment. Yeah, I'm seeing nods and a thumbs up from Susan. Yeah. Okay, so that then leads us to item 5, the business representation on the board. So can I come to you, Julie, please, to introduce this item?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I don't intend to say too much about it, but just to say that it's designed to allow members to be cited on the current position across Transport for the North region in terms of the LEPs and their successors, and to enable a discussion with members with a view to a recommendation being taken to the March board. Obviously, we're all aware that the position is currently changing and continuing to develop, but in short, some of the LEPs are continuing, at least for the time being, to operate as previously, whilst in other areas they've already been wound up and their work has been subsumed into business boards. And we are expecting further change, particularly with the development of a new pan-regional partnership in the pipeline. But for the time being, we need to review the position around the representation on TFN board so as to provide stability and a workable interim solution for TFN. And so we're recommending that the current LEP representatives remain co-opted onto board where they remain in existence, and where that no longer applies, a representative from the successor body to be determined by that body replaces the former LEP member as the co-optee onto TFN board and also partnership board. So it's all, if that's supported, that will then be taken to March board for approval, along with a recommendation that we review the position early next year once we know a little more about the pan-regional partnership and that's more developed. Obviously, my colleague Katie has been working very closely on development, so I'll pass over to Katie at this point if there's any further detail that she'd like to provide at this stage. If not, obviously, we can take questions later. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Julie. Katie, please.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Julie. For those of you I haven't met before, I'm Katie Day, Director of Strategy Analysis and Comms here at Transport for the North. I think just to add a couple of points to what Julie said there, as TFN, we are here for businesses and citizens. So I think in preparing this paper, the view from stakeholders that we've spoken with is that business voice remains very important and integral to our board. I think the challenge we've got is there is a changing policy environment at the moment, and Julie's mentioned a PRP. We may see some further announcements on that in the coming weeks, but at this point in time, we want to make sure that there's continuity of that business voice around the board. So actually recognising that LEPs may remain or may be subsumed, and ensuring that we're able to continue to provide a co-opted place around the board for those representatives feels important and appropriate, and will be our advice to you. But I think I'd also just underline to say that representation of business around the board is just one way that we bring the business voice into our work. And actually there's a lot of engagement that goes on directly with other business representative bodies, such as the FSB, such as the CBI, such as just transport organisations, whether that's the ports, the airports and freight operators. so that we've got a number of different avenues to bring that into our work. And we're looking over the course of the next year to actually convene some very specific business roundtables around the region to enhance that voice into our work too. And I think one of the benefits of doing that will give us a view as to what might be appropriate, as Julie mentioned, when we come to review these arrangements in a year's time, and we can see what the wider policy landscape looks like. But yes, I think that was all I wanted to add, Chair. Thank you very much, and very happy with Julie to take any questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Can I open it up for colleagues for any discussion then, please?
I move that we agree the proposed recommendation.
Okay, thank you, Martin. Is that seconded? Yeah, I can see Susan nodding. Okay, so if anybody has any other comments to make, if not, we'll move on to voting on that recommendation. So can we just show with a show of hands, please? Okay, that seems to be carried. Anybody against? And any abstentions? No, so it is carried. Okay, thank you for that. Can we then move on then, please, to item 6, forthcoming changes? And again, Julie, I'll come back to you, please.
Yes, thank you again, Chair. So alongside the previous report, this report provides a summary of the changes to TFN's elected membership, which are both already happening and due to happen next year, and just allows members to digest these and see that the effects they will make on TFN in the round. Until recently, TFN had 21 constituent authority members, having changed from an original 19 in 2018, and 2 further changes are happening this year, in fact, already in process. The first is the inception of the York and North Yorkshire Constituent Authority, with the secondary legislation having already come into force. And this means that for the March TFN board and committee cycle, representatives have been nominated. And once the mayoral election takes place, with the mayor's term of office beginning on the 7th of May, we may be advised of further changes at that stage. Obviously, that will be up to the constituent authority. For the North East Combined Authority and the North of Tyne Combined Authority will be replaced by a new North East Mayoral Combined Authority from the 7th of May, when another elected mayor will commence their term of office. Meantime, the existing membership of NECA and NOTCA will continue, but again, there may be changes to be advised with effect from May. Just moving on then to 2025, there'll be another mayoral election for the areas of Hull and East Riding, resulting in a single mayoral replacement for those 2 current constituent authorities, and a similar arrangement will be effective for Greater Lincolnshire, with a new mayor replacing the North East Lincolnshire and the North Lincolnshire members. In Lancashire, a non-mayoral combined authority replacing Lancashire, Blackpool and Blackburn with Darwin on TFN will also come to being. I've included a little bit of information in the report about the powers which will attach to the new combined authorities. Obviously, hopefully the report has been read, so I won't repeat that here. So overall, by later in 2025, the total representation on TFN board in terms of elected members will change from 21 to 15. We obviously will need to make the required amendments to the Constitution, which at the moment can be done under delegated authority, but as matters develop, we will be bringing future reports to General Purposes Committee and to Board. So hopefully that just gives a flavour, and it's for noting today, members. So thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Do I need to declare that I'm actually part of the York and North Yorkshire Mayoral Combined Authority, and in effect has nominated myself to be on the TFN board?
I don't think you need to declare it, Chair, but yes, it's declared now, so that's fine. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, colleagues, anybody got any comments to make on this? It all seems to be
sorry, just one thing. I mean, I'm being extremely pedantic. We're in paragraph 3.3 in the very last line. It says, hold on a second, the new mayor will take over from the 7th of May. I would prefer it said the new mayoral combined authority, but never mind. I'm not going to suggest a minute. I'm just making a point.
Thank you, Martin.
Okay.
Susan, your hand is up.
I just want to congratulate those authorities who've managed to secure devolution deals, and particularly from our part in North Yorkshire and York with Carl and Claire, which is obviously most closely associated with West Yorkshire and Transport. So I just want to congratulate you on getting this far, and wish you every success.
Thank you. It's been a long time in coming. but we're there now. It's great. Thank you, Susan. Anybody else want to come in? No, well, I think Julie said it's a report for noting, so it's duly noted. And let's move on then.
Thank you, Chair.
I'm a bit confused about the next item, the exclusion of the press and public. Is that, it says during consideration of item 5, but we've already done item 5.
Chair, that's meant to mean items 8 and 9 rather than 5.
Okay, right, thank you. So, are we happy to agree the exclusion of the public for items 8 and 9? Yep.
Great.
Okay, and the just then
Chair,
item 8. Sorry.
Chair, if you just bear with me a second, just to check that the